Did you know that 4.4 million people quit their jobs in September alone? 3% of our entire workforce up and left. That's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Americans are leaving their jobs in droves month after month. Receiving this. This movement is being called the Great Resignation. You've probably heard of it. Last year, several surveys reported that job satisfaction had actually hit a 20-year high. So what happened? Were people actually more satisfied with their jobs? Or, bury this, were they just excited to be at home, away from office politics? A chief economist at ZipRecruiter told USA Today that another possible option is just better options. There are 50% more jobs today than there were in 2020. Economists are still trying to piece it all together, but what I'm most interested in is, where do you find yourself in all of this? I'm one of the millions of Americans that participated in the Great Resignation. After over a decade working backstage at Lincoln Center, I quit. Since quitting, I have a little extra anxiety, because bills need to be paid. But overall, I'm happier, and that's worth everything. And that's no shade to the people I was working with. They were great, but when it's time, it's time. I'm a first-generation Haitian American. And Haitian grandparents and parents want one of two things: Avocad, docteur. That means lawyer or doctor. I was raised mostly by my grandmother, and she wanted me to either take on a job that she could brag to her church friends about, because she went to church like 3 days a week, sometimes 4, or she wanted me to marry well, find a good man, and pick up sewing, in case anything needed repairing. I know she meant well, and she always did. But the thing is, so many of us take on jobs, goals, etc., and whether self-prescribed or family-prescribed, we ignore all information that would have us questioning that goal. We ignore symptoms like constant boredom, the nagging feeling that I could be doing so much more with my life, and that general sense of isolation that just kind of lingers all the time. We don't take these symptoms as signs that maybe it's time to move on to something new. There's always a little shame attached to quitting. But 2020 gave us a lot of time to think. We had a sort of collective existential crisis, right? Would you agree? We were at home, like, who am I? What am I doing with my life? How do I want to spend my time? That was a big one. I think a lot of us started reevaluating how we spend our time. And the thing I still struggle with: should I cook or order takeout? People use this term loosely, but among many things, 2020 was truly a cultural reset. So what now? What's next? What happens when you realize the thing you've been investing your time and energy into is not actually what you want to be doing with your life anymore? What if you realize you only stuck to it because it was the only thing you could envision for your life with the information available to you at the time? It definitely happened to me, so if it's you and you're just quietly nodding your head, don't feel bad. What if the person you're becoming is telling you, this isn't my dream? This isn't even me anymore. Well, I asked myself those same questions last year during lockdown, and I was on a roll. I decided to just quit something else. I stopped chasing a career in music after over a decade of chasing that dream. As a Black girl growing up in Brooklyn, I wanted to be like Whitney Houston, Beyonce, Lil' Kim, Biggie. My sister and I would clear the furniture from our living room and have 60 to 90-minute concerts, okay? They were major. Writing was also something that seemed to come naturally to me. So, mostly because of the examples available to me at the time, I thought my one special talent was songwriting. So, with the added bonus, though, that I could carry a little note. I'm not saying it was a Whitney Houston note, but it was a note. It was enough to also build a fan base and convince me that this was my one true path. You know, like in the movies, I gotta drop my voice, the one true path. Because you only get one in movies. The thing is, I never felt at home in the music industry. I met some great people along the way, but overall, something never truly clicked. Have you ever felt that? You fought so hard to get into a space, an industry, a job. You get there and it's nothing like you thought it would be and you actually hate it. It's awkward. It's very awkward. In the back of my mind, though, I would keep hearing that weird voice. I don't know where it comes from, but it kept saying, never quit, never give up. It literally haunted me. The thing is, though, I inherited, among many things, a really great work ethic from my grandmother. Unfortunately, it came with my sense of pride in my ability to suffer and endure. Like it was a character trait that I was so proud of, which is a perfect combo for the music industry, so if you're thinking of it. Slowly but surely, any free time I had started going to something else. I was on YouTube, binging makeup content. I was watching makeup artists like Danessa Myricks, Wayne Goss, and Lisa Eldridge. It was something I never really shared with anyone, not because it was a secret, but because it was where I turned to when I wanted to feel connected and just relax and just be inspired. The world of beauty lit me up in a way music simply did not. Oh, by the way, you might have heard before, but did I mention this whole time backstage at Lincoln Center pursuing music, I was also a professional makeup artist? Okay, so I was using the money I made from doing makeup to support my commitment to being a starving artist. I romanticized the artist's journey, and every year I'd put more and more into it. Something I was pursuing became my identity. Instead of an exploration, it was blind forward motion. This was a recipe for an emptiness that just kept getting bigger and bigger. People would see me and be like, "You're killing it. I love what you're doing." And I'd just be like, "Am I? Is this what killing it feels like?" Because I don't like it. When we stop paying attention and we stop being curious, we risk never finding the thing that we truly love, like through all the ups and downs that we really want to stick it out for. It's like a system override for us. That abrasive energy leaves little to no room for the softness, patience, and quiet listening necessary to tune into what could possibly be next. Staying in an industry or job long after we've learned all we came to learn, done all we could possibly do, leaves us feeling depleted, uninspired, and sometimes even resentful. On the other hand, aligning with our inner compass, that's where excitement, inspiration, and all the good things live. It feels like blooming. So, let's normalize redirecting our energy. No matter what anyone else thinks about what we choose to do with our lives, we're the ones who have to live with ourselves. So we owe it to ourselves to tune in to who we are, how we're feeling, and who we want to be, and to honor that. I love making people feel their best, and I love sharing what helps me feel my best. The world of beauty allows me to do all of that. I get to express it all. When we pursue a path that taps into who we are and amplifies it for the good of others and ourselves, that's when we are truly aligned. We're allowed to try more than one thing. Nothing we do goes to waste. It all builds on top of each other. So, if you find yourself at a job or in an industry or in any space that makes you wish you stayed in bed, makes you hate Mondays, it is my hope that you will be able to tune into who you are, how you're feeling, and choose something that lights you up. I hope that you'll change your mind. Thank you.